What's up everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to build a camera app using SwiftUI. We will be diving deep into how to access the camera, take pictures and save them into your photo library. Let's get started. First things first, let's open Xcode and create a new project. Once your project is ready to use, let's create a new file called cameraview.swift. Here we are going to import a few frameworks. AVFoundation is going to give us access to the camera, and photos is what we will use to save the photos we capture into the photo library. Now let's focus on our camera logic. First, create a new class called camera model, which is going to manage everything about the camera, like handling the permission, capturing the pictures. This class conforms to NS object, observable object, and AVCapturePhotoCaptureDelegate. Here I'm going to create a few variables and a few placeholder methods that we will implement later on. Before we use the camera, we need to make sure we have permission to access it. So let's go ahead and implement the check method. This method will request access to both the camera and photo library. As you can see, we have three conditions. One, where the user have already authorized our app. Second, when it is the first time the user start to use our app. So in that case, we should ask for permission. And the third, where the user has already denied the access in the last session. So we will throw a alert box so they can go inside settings and turn it on. As you can see, I have also added check photo library access call, which is not defined yet, but we will add it in the future. At this point, we can add the permissions in our info.plist. So head over to your project. Now let's move to the setup, where we are going to set up the camera session itself. This function will initialize the session, add inputs and outputs, and prepare the preview layer. Make sure to wrap your configuration inside do and catch, then initialize the AV capture session and create an input for the back camera. Here you can change it to front camera or different camera, for example wide angle camera. Then we add our input and output to the session, commit the configuration to set up the AVCaptureVideoPreviewLayer to show the live camera feed, and then we can start the camera session. As you can see, we haven't created a placeholder for the start session. Let's quickly add the start session and stop session at the same time. This will allow us to start the camera feed and stop the camera feed. At this point, I think we should head over to the UI side. We will implement the camera preview and other things at a later point. All right, this is where everything comes together. We use the Z stack to layer our UI elements. If captured photo is not nil, we will show the photo, otherwise we will show the live preview. When the view appears, we will call the camera.check to check the permission and start the camera. And finally, we add the alert to prompt the user if the camera access is denied. I'm going to skip over the rest of the UI part because you can implement it based on your requirement. Once your UI part is ready, let's create our camera preview. The camera preview layer wraps our live camera feed in Swift UI view. We will use UI view representable. In our camera view struct, we will create make UI view function that creates a UI view and attaches the preview layer to it, while date UI view keeps the preview layer frame in sync. Finally, let's make sure we can take photos and save them to the library. Back in our camera model class, add the following functions. Take picture, it will configure the capture setting and trigger the photo capture. Let's build the retake pic function, which will be triggered when the user hit the back button and is not satisfied with their picture. Photo output that receives the captured photo, converts it to the UI image and store it in the captured photo, and save photo to library, save the capture photo inside our photo library. Let's add the check photo library access method. It just checks the permission to access the photo library, just like the check method we implemented earlier for camera permissions. One last thing, we need to implement the flip camera, where we will begin a new session configuration and then remove the old input from the session and toggle between front to back or back to front camera, and then add our new input based on the position, then commit the configuration inside the session. And that's it. Now you have a fully functional camera app built with SwiftUI. We have covered everything from setting up the camera, handling the permission, displaying the live preview, capturing the pictures, saving them to the library. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more Swift and iOS development content, and let me know in the comments what would you like to see next. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.